Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk all about nutrition and talk into some meal timing, macronutrients, and just some things that could really help you in your fitness journey. Things that I am now focusing on as a competitor, now into prep, and just some things that I'm learning as we go. I have shared with y'all that I have switched coaches. I was working with Ryan Milton out of Team Functional Flex, Team FFLEX for about 2 years, and I have made the personal decision to switch. And if you guys want to know why, if you want to hear my thought processes behind why I made that huge decision after working with someone for 2 years, go ahead and check out my previous video. I do dive into that quite a bit more. I do want to talk a little bit into who I'm talking to in this video, because a lot of the times you guys will find information on meal timing and really just any information on nutrition out there. Social media is a wonderful, wonderful thing, and there's so much value and education that's constantly shared by really reputable people, and then sometimes people who might not be in a position where they should be sharing that information. So I come to you from a place of experience. I have been in the bikini bodybuilding world for a little over 2 years now, and I've also have worked with coaches. I am a certified personal trainer. I'm a certified nutrition specialist. I've been working in healthcare for almost 10 years, and I am still not really going to consider myself an expert because I have so much to learn. There is constantly things changing in the realm of scientific studies, scientific research, and biology as a whole. So I will never consider myself an expert until I go back, hopefully for my master's degree one day. We will see what's in the cards for me. Haven't decided on that yet. However, so I'm coming to you guys from a place of experience is what I'm getting at. And I'm also, I look up to people who are way more knowledgeable into this than I am. Like my coach, my now coach, Paul Ravella at Team Pro Physique, and a lot of the people in the fitness and bodybuilding industry that I look up to, I follow, and I completely trust, and who are very knowledgeable about this. So I have always followed for my nutrition since I started in the bikini bodybuilding world, and really, even if I wasn't a bikini bodybuilder and I was just doing this as a lifestyle, counting macros has changed my life. But you cannot count your macros until you get yourself to a place where you have clear goals as to whether you want to lose body fat, build muscle, maintain. You have to know those things going in. You can't, step number one is getting clear on your goals. Step number two would be at least get yourself used to tracking calories. So, this whole video is really going to be about meal timing, and I want to introduce you guys to what I am now focusing on in my competition prep. But I just want to preface that with this information because there are a lot of you out here who might watch this video and you might just be like the average gym goer, or you might just be getting your your journey started in fitness, or maybe you are a fellow competitor and maybe you haven't gotten into the whole meal timing. So this is going to be different depending on where you're at in your journey. But what I really want to just touch on is that meal timing is not going to matter for the average person. The average Joe just going to the gym, just trying to be healthy, just trying to be fit, lose a couple pounds, gain a little bit of muscle. At the end of the day, when you're an average gym goer, what matters at the end of the day is calories in versus calories out. So you want to just make sure you're getting yourself to a place of consistency. It does not matter. It's not going to make a huge impact on your progress if you're an average gym goer. If you decide to eat 500 or 600 calories for breakfast and then not eat for 6 or 7 hours, you don't have to be doing 4 to 6 meals a day. Do what works for your life. Do what works for your schedule, and I'm a huge advocate for that because this is a lifestyle. Healthy living, the fit life, it's a lifestyle, and you can't possibly try to mold yourself into this structure that's just not going to fit your life. If you can't do it for more than 1 or 2 weeks, then try to find something else that will work for you, because this is a lifestyle. You work really hard to get your results, your body feeling good, like you work hard. So you want to be able to keep those results. That is why like counting macros, and once you get yourself into that place, after you get yourself used to being consistent with your daily caloric intake based on your goals, whether that's losing, maintaining, or gaining muscle, whatever stage that you're at. Counting macros is also known as flexible dieting. And so once you kind of master, getting yourself into the groove of finding a gym routine, prioritizing your water intake, which is super important. I always tell people they should be drinking at least half of their body weight in water. I drink about 160 to 200 ounces of water a day. So I drink a lot more than half my body weight, but my body is just used to that. I have worked my way up to that point, and it didn't just happen overnight. So you also want to prioritize sleep. Sleep is huge for your just quality of life and recovery. So once you can master your daily caloric intake and being consistent, your sleep, your water intake, and having somewhat of a structure around your workouts, and having a plan when you go to the gym or when you're working out from home or whatever, having a plan that surrounds your goals, those are like the basic steps that you want to start off doing. If you don't get that down, then there's no point in doing anything else, because it will not matter. And I'm telling you this from a place of experience where I have tried in the past, like carb cycling when I was not ready, or I did intermittent fasting for a very short period of time last year, and I have just tried different approaches, and you have to be ready to go there. And so once you get that down, going from counting calories to learning your macros, counting your macros, and having daily macro targets is really like the next best step for you, because it allows for what's called a flexible lifestyle. Counting your macros is flexible dieting. And flexible dieting just allows, a lot of people kind of throw around this term, if it fits your macros. And that's kind of where I started. It was like, I could fit it into my macros, so I'm going to eat it. And, some people take it to the extremes of fitting in ice cream, popcorn, and Doritos and Cheetos and whatever. And they're like, it fits my macros. That's great, because your macros will equal your calories, so you're still gonna have that caloric deficit. If you're in a fat loss phase, you will still have the caloric deficit, but remember, we are what we eat. Our cells are constantly regenerating, and if we're only feeding it Doritos and Cheetos and all this crap food that doesn't serve us on a micronutrient level at all, then that's what your body's cells are going to be made up of. So while if it fits your macros is a great starting point in saying, hey, I can eat 50% junk food and 50% healthy food and still hit my goals, sure, that's great. That's a great starting point. When you're considering where you're coming from, everybody's going to be different. If you're used to eating a lot of processed junk food, maybe that's a good start, 50-50. But the idea is you want to work yourself up to like 80-20. Me personally, I'm about 90-10. Probably even like 95 to 5% junk food. I don't really do a lot of junk food because it doesn't serve me. I am very sensitive to food. I basically follow gluten-free, dairy-free, non-GMO, organic, everything, because that's when I feel my best inside and out. And as an athlete, I want to do everything that I possibly can in my power to optimize my body. And so once you get all of that down, and I didn't know how to track macros until I learned on my own, but I kind of started off on the wrong foot and I wasn't really doing the right things. I was doing my own research, and it was really when I got a coach that I learned my body a lot more, and it was more about consistency, trial and error over a very long period of time, and learning your body. And so now my macros are at a point where they're pretty optimized. I know what to expect when I'm putting things into my body. And so now I want to talk about meal timing. So this is going to apply to you, I'm sharing this with you because it's something that I'm new to doing and I'm learning as I go, and I want to share this with you because I'm sharing my journey with you, and that means when I learn something new, when I try something new, I want to share it with you guys because I want to educate and empower you and maybe tell you something you heard a different way, maybe you heard it incorrectly. I would never relay information that was not correct. And again, I'm getting it from very, very reputable sources. So I'm going to talk about the changes that were made in my macronutrients and in my meal timing as a competitor these past 2 weeks since I've switched coaches. Again, I'm going to tell you guys specific numbers just to kind of give you a concrete visual of where things are at. But these are my macros. I am on competition prep. My macros will not work for you. Please don't copy my macros thinking that you will get results because we are all different. Our metabolisms are all different. Our diet history is all different. Our daily expenditure in calories is different. Our training is different. Our lifestyles are different. Our stress is different. The way that our bodies metabolize fats versus carbs is different. So please, 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 I'm begging you, do not take my macros and think that they will work for you because they are mine and you have yours. And if you need help figuring out your macros, I could totally help you. Drop a comment, shoot me an email, find me on social media, send me a message, and I'd love to help you guys. I'm always in conversations with helping people learn more about themselves because ultimately, if you could learn your macros, you could just be more conscious about yourself and be in more control of your journey and how you feel every day. So anyways, enough of that. I think you get the point. So you're gonna take a drink, take a break. Which actually, one of the things that has changed a little bit as well is my supplementation. I will try to include that. We're only at about 12 minutes right now. I want to keep this nice and short. So I will talk about this and what's in my drink after I tell you guys about a little bit about how my calories and macros have changed and now how I'm focusing on meal timing. So previously my calories were at about 1550-ish. And they were there for about 8 weeks. And the breakdown of that, I was eating, I think, 130 grams of protein. I think like around 50 grams of fat. I think it was like 54 grams of fat. And my carbs were at like 130-ish. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I don't have the old numbers in front of me. But basically what had happened is moving forward with my new coach now, my calories are now at about 1480 Monday through Friday on my training days, and then I have 2 off days now, and my calories go up a little bit, and they only go up with carb manipulation. My proteins and my fats stay the same. So the difference in my macro ratios is mostly like my protein. So I'm currently eating 150 grams of protein a day, and I am enjoying the crap out of it because I love protein. I am a huge protein person, and it makes me feel satiated way longer throughout the day. I'm not having nearly as many cravings. I'm not feeling nearly as hungry as I was. So I'm really enjoying that. And my fats were at 40 grams of fat and 120 grams of carbs. So that's Monday through Friday. And then Saturdays and Sundays are my off days. So my carbs go from 120 to 180. So it kind of just helps to restore the glycogen in my body that I have kind of depleted all week long with training and cardio. So with meal timing, I'm gonna make this super quick because my camera is actually dying. Meal timing, I'm trying to eat 4 to 6 meals a day. It's usually around 4, sometimes 5 if I include my bedtime snack. And I'm basically eating every 4 to 6 hours. Ideally, I want to eat around hour 5, but sometimes because I do have a weird schedule, I work at night, I eat around hour 4. And basically, I'll have breakfast, and then I do my ARBONNE business work, and then I'll have my pre-workout meal, 4 hours later, and then I'll eat right after I work out, and then I'll eat dinner 4 hours after I eat after I work out, and then I'll have like a bedtime snack. So it's 4 times a day. During breakfast, I only consume, basically, the meal timing and the macro ratios are based around carbohydrates. That's the easiest way to put it. And it's based around pre-workout and post-workout, because what you want to do, I'm eating 30% of my carbs pre-workout, post-workout, because when we work out, we have carbs turn into glycogen in our body. That's how they're converted in our body. And we use glycogen as an energy source to fuel our workouts. And so logically, it makes sense to eat higher carb meals pre and post workout. I do not eat a whole lot of fat at all, maybe around 5 grams of fat or less pre and post workout, because it's all about the carbs basically. And you don't even need to be really worried too much about protein pre and post workout, but I do spread out my protein evenly between those 4 meals. So I eat around anywhere from 35 to 45 grams of protein every single time I eat. And so in the mornings, I only try to have breakfast around 15 grams of fat, or carbs rather, because I keep my carbs lower throughout the day, and I really just want to focus on energizing my workout and making my workout the best I possibly can by using carbs as my energy source, because when we work out, we deplete our glycogen. And when we're done working out, you'll notice if you have a good solid carb meal pre-workout about an hour or 2 before you work out, and then when we're done working out, our bodies are like, hey, I need something. I need to replenish everything you just depleted. Please feed me. And so therefore we want to feed it with carbs. So that's kind of like the very, very most simplistic way I think I can explain it. I hope that made sense. But yeah, so basically breakfast, it's all about protein and fats when you're not working out, and then it's about the carbs when pre and post workout. That's the easiest way to put it. And the other change that I have made is that I am now taking creatine monohydrate. I take that every day before I work out, and then on my non-training days I take it in the morning, and then I'm drinking BCAAs in between each meal. So about an hour or 2 after I eat, I mix up a drink of my BCAAs and I'm drinking that. So yeah, that's basically it. It's just a little bit more strategic than before. Before, my nutrition was, I was really specific with my macros, but it was kind of just like fitted in wherever. It didn't matter. There was no kind of like structure behind it. But now I have a lot of structure, and I am totally type A personality. So this really helps me. I sat down and I wrote out, okay, this is kind of like my meal plan. I basically eat the same foods somewhat every single day. I switched up a little bit, but I know what works really well with my body and my digestion and the way my body reacts. And so I just use those foods consistently all the time. It's easy. It takes the thought process out of a lot of things. And when I get further into prep, that is going to matter, because I do not want to spend energy where I don't have to, because once you become very depleted, you kind of just become like, you don't have a brain, you can't finish your sentences. So I hope this was helpful. If y'all have any questions, my battery's about to die, please leave it in the comments below. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. I'm trying my best to bring the best knowledge and my experience in this whole prep vlog series, and just in general. I appreciate you guys so much, and your support has been freaking phenomenal so far. You guys are awesome. I'm having a lot of fun with this. I hope this was informative. I hope this helps somebody. Make sure you connect with me on social media. I want to hear from you, and I will see you in the next video.